All right, y'all, real quick. So I got things to do. I got soccer practice and tournaments to go to, and I got to get out the door, right? But I want to talk a little bit about this situation where all these Christian channels are getting paperwork. And, I myself, I got some paperwork yesterday, as we spoke about on Thanksgiving, right? So I got some paperwork too. And, you know, a week ago, I didn't even know who Daystar Television was. Had no clue. Literally had no clue. Had no clue who Joni Lamb was, Daystar Television. Had no clue whatsoever. I got a DM on Instagram sending me a bunch of stuff, a bunch of things. And, this person was saying, hey, you should look into this. So that's exactly what I did. I looked into it. I read some articles because there really wasn't a whole lot of information that was available. So I read some articles and I was trying to understand the situation, trying to understand exactly what was going on. And I think that's what all of us on YouTube were trying to understand. Like, what the heck is really going on here? Because you hear these allegations and, for myself, and I think for a lot of other people, naturally, when you hear allegations that are being made involving children, I think for a lot of us, we're naturally going to lean in the direction of the child because just speaking in general here, we've seen a lot of stories involving children and abuse, specifically and unfortunately in the church. This is all too common. This stuff happens way too much. So when you hear stuff like this, a lot of us naturally are going to be a little bit more positioned towards the child and the allegations that are being made. But still, I think we were still trying to understand what was going on because what do we really know, right? But it's crazy because I've made a lot of videos, like P. Diddy, for example. I've made multiple videos on Diddy. I even made a whole documentary on Diddy. And haven't received any paperwork, haven't received any requests for clarification, haven't received any requests for retraction. And that's just one example, right? And so, you have this company, this media company, this Christian media company, allegedly, and they're using their money, their power, their resources, their attorneys to try to silence the narrative and control the narrative. And it's funny because they sent all of these letters talking about, hey, we need you to retract, we need you to correct, we need you to remove by this date, or we're going to sue you. They send all of these letters, but you know what the easier thing to be or to do? You know what the easier thing to do should have been? If you want clarification, why don't you send us statements letting us know your side? If you're truly after clarifying what you are saying is the false allegations that are out there, instead of threatening to sue us for talking about it, for speaking on it, and not necessarily presenting you in the most polished and shiny way possible, in the most positive way possible, if you're really genuinely concerned about that, why not just reach out to us directly and just say, hey, this is a statement. This is what happened. Or why don't you request, hey, I saw you were reporting on some things. I want to give my side of the story. I want to give clarification. Why wouldn't you say that? But instead, you resort to acting like the world. Instead, you resort to acting like unbelievers in this situation. And you immediately take the legal route. Thinking about the whole situation overall, it really is telling the way that they quickly tried to silence this story. And who knows? These are allegations. I wasn't there. You weren't there. But a lot of people, specifically two individuals that used to work at your company, strongly believe that these allegations are true. And when you are taking such drastic steps to silence smaller individuals who clearly do not have as much resources as you do, when you're taking such drastic steps, it looks very suspicious, in my opinion, allegedly, according to conversation that's been happening and speculation across the internet. It looks suspicious. It does. And most of all, it's just extremely disheartening. It's extremely disheartening because let's play this game. Let's say they're successful. Let's say they sue each and every one of us. Let's say we all go bankrupt. Let's say we all are unable to continue making content. Then what? What did we really resolve here? What did we really prove? That Daystar has more money, that Daystar has more attorneys, that Daystar can shut down a story if they don't like what's being reported on it. What did we really prove in that scenario? It just seems like a very idiotic move, very unchristian move, and a move that raises more questions as opposed to bringing more clarity to this situation. And I'm not sure who advised them to take this step against all of us who got this paperwork. But it was absolutely the wrong move. And now, as I said, we'll see what happens. We'll see how this whole story plays out. You know, what I'm learning more and more is that, and I'm just speaking in generalities here, I'm not speaking in regard to any specific organization whatsoever. What I've learned is that just because you have somebody who says they're a Christian, just because you have an organization that says they're a Christian organization, that they are led by the voice of God, that their values are to glorify the kingdom and to bring people to Jesus Christ, just because you have individuals or even ministries, pastors, priests, whatever, just because you have these people who are saying these things with their mouths, it doesn't mean anything. What are they actually doing? What actions are they partaking in? So, you let me know what you think. Get in my comments, like this video. I'm out, y'all.